same line all the time, but in reality, you are all my relatives, and I appreciate you. I cannot say that enough. Some of our people, as well as ourselves, had decided to call today Indigenous Day instead of Columbus Day. And it makes me really think how many people who still celebrate Columbus, a cruel mass murderer who on his last trip to the Americas, as I have read, was arrested by his own people. Will you consider those kinds of cruelty against our people and his status? It makes you wonder what level he is taking his cruelty. In all of his historical knowledge that is available, people still want to celebrate and hold in high esteem this murder. If we were to celebrate Hitler Day or Mussolini Day or some other murderer and initiator of violence and genocide, there would be widespread condemnation. It would be like celebrating Bush Day in Iraq. It's kind of sad to say that even mentioning Columbus in my comments gives him more recognition than he should have. So I agree wholeheartedly with all of you out there that have chosen to call this Indigenous Day. If I weren't Native American, or as some have come to say, Indigenous, I would still love our ways and cling to our ways and cherish our ways. I see our ways as the way to the future for the world. Whereas I and others have said over and over, and our people before us, this earth is our mother. The earth is life, and anything you take from the earth creates a debt that is to be paid back at some time or in the near future by someone. In speaking of our ways, I can't help to think of times at our sweat lodge that I feel that we could be anywhere. That we are the Indigenous people. In that time, those moments in our prayers and in our hearts, there is no distance between us. I am no longer in prison in Florida. I can be on the prairie in South Dakota, or in a lodge in British Columbia, or in a lodge in South America. Or even with some of my children in a family lodge. We all need to be thankful for what we have, but we cannot afford to forget where and what has been taken from us. There is no amount of freedom that I can personally receive that would be restitution enough for what they have taken from me. But in some way, my incarceration and sacrifices for our people who came before me and throughout our Indigenous history serve as a pathway to a brighter future. A healthier earth, and for the life of all mankind, it would bring us together to be of one mind in protecting the future of our people, our children, and all future generations upon the earth. Then it would have been well worth it. Indigenous Day should become a way of life that embraces all that promotes life, and not just a few days out of the year. If you're standing or sitting or whatever with whoever lives around you, give your loved ones a big hug for me. Guard your freedom zealously. Rescue Mother Earth where you can. Sweat often, and know that this common man, Leonard Peltier, will always be with you in struggle in one way or another. May the Great Spirit bless you with the things that you need and enough to share. In the spirit of Crazy Horse, Geronimo, Chi Seattle, and all those many others who stood for what was right and tried to right what was wrong. Leonard.